hurry up, my stupid computer. I'm on the radio. Guys, come on. Okay, ask Moses, what is the Torah source prohibiting premarital sex? Maimonides writes that non-marital intercourse falls under the biblical prohibition of, quote, there shall not be any promiscuous men among the Jewish people, nor shall there be any promiscuous women among the Jewish people. However, Rabbi Nachmanides disagrees with this derivation, maintaining that the prohibition is implicit in the biblical injunction, and the earth shall not be filled with immorality. So the text in the Torah is certainly not explicit that premarital sex is forbidden, but all the rabbis down through history have pretty much said you're not allowed to do this.
I was looking on your site today, and there was a link to Jewsip. It's like Jewish gossip. And that is a fabulous site.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like it. I liked what I saw.
It's like Gawker for the Jews.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad you turned me on to that. Your site turned me on to that. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you about is I know in previous conversations we've talked about acupuncture. How often do you do it now?
I go twice a week.
And you're a big believer that it's been a tremendous benefit to you.
Yes, it has. Largely or partly because, at least in the previous semester, I go to an acupuncture college because it's cheaper. And in the previous semester, I had two beautiful acupuncturists. I mean, these are like college girls. I mean, and they're touching me and sticking needles in me, and they're all very concerned about my bowel movements, and it's really wonderful stuff. But I haven't been able to secure the same level of young beauty for this semester, so it's kind of got me down. Yeah. And I'm not quite getting the full benefit of the acupuncture.
Did you read there was a big study that was just released about the validity of acupuncture, and the study sort of concluded it's the placebo effect.
Fascinating.
Doesn't matter to you. You're still going to do it.
Yeah, no, it like I started it because I had tendinitis in my elbow from like photographing porn stars. I was holding this like 12-pound camera, and I was going to events, and I was photographing them, and it like pulled the tendons away from my bone in my elbow, and so it was a real problem. So I kept going to Western doctors, and there was nothing that they could do. They could shoot me up with painkillers, or they could do surgery and try to reattach the tendons. And then I had a friend who said he had a similar problem, and he went to an acupuncturist. And the acupuncturist worked, and all the Western things did not work. So then I said, oh, well, they try to treat the whole body. That's the theory anyway.
Right.
So when it worked on my elbow, I said, let's keep going with this. And I found it did like pep up my energy a bit. They give me this really bitter Chinese tea powder stuff that I drink every day. So I have no idea how it works, and it just seems to work for me. But big study, I'll have to Google that.
Yeah, you're convinced that it works, and so even if the study conclusion was it's the placebo effect, you're not buying it.
No, I don't. It seems to work for me, but who knows? It could be a placebo effect. I'm not going to argue with the study. I'm just saying it worked for me, but it could be the placebo effect. Who knows?
You're open to the idea that it may be the placebo effect.
Sure.
So here's the thing I'm kind of coming to the conclusion of about you, and the more we talk, the more I'm sort of getting some insights, and you're very you speak very well, and you're obviously a guy who's really seeking. I mean, this is your and it's an inherited trait because your father's religious devotion, and that you rejected that and then embraced another religion, to me is all about you're on a search, and I think I asked you this before, and I don't recall your answer, so if this is repetitive, forgive me. If I talk to you in 10 years, are you still going to be an Orthodox Jew?
If you talk to me in 10 years, I'll still be deeply rooted in Judaism. Whether or not I'll be Orthodox, that'll be an open question. but I'll certainly be keeping the Sabbath. I'll be keeping kashrut. I'll be studying the Torah, and I will be part of an organized and traditional Jewish community. Mm-hmm. But I think like the truth-seeking thing, I was raised on stories of the Protestant Reformation, what happened in the 16th century. And did you ever see the 1966 Best Picture Oscar-winning movie called A Man for All Seasons?
No.
Okay, I saw that film when I was 10 years old, and it's about some English cleric in the time of Henry VIII and how he stood up for what he believed and lost his head. And so I was raised on stories of Martin Luther, who, when put before the Catholic Inquisition, said, "Here I stand, I can do no other, so help me God." And Fox's Book of Martyrs, about all the Protestants who got martyred by the Catholics in the 16th, 17th century. So I was kind of raised with this fevered idealization of the pursuit of truth at all costs, and you pursue the truth, and then you take all the costs, even if it's your own life. And so I'm still like Jesus on the cross.
How so? How's that?
Well, I'm kind of that fanatical, this is what I stand for, and you can nail me to a cross, and here I stand, I can do no other. So I'm still, I've still got that Jesus crucifixion, Protestant martyr thing just like burned into my psyche, and so it's quite weird in its coming out in this Jewish and blogging obsession, but it's still there. It's still, you can feel the outlines of the Protestant martyrs burning at the stake in my work.
When you see graven images of Jesus Christ, what is your thought?
It's repellent to me because I was raised a Seventh-day Adventist where they don't have iconography. And then it's certainly not a Jewish thing. So both my background and my present rebels against images of Jesus, particularly torn and pierced and bleeding. It's very. I hate the whole cannibalistic human sacrifice angle, which is at the very core of Christianity.
Well, it's the idea that that one man would suffer so much for the sins of others, I guess, it's really the basis of Christianity, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's the idea that God requires this. God requires human sacrifice before he can be reconciled to humanity. And it's just a completely repugnant, totally pagan, contrary to the Hebrew Bible notion that is just, really repellent for a Jew. It comes out of Hellenic mystery religions, the idea that salvation can come from above, and that by, immersing yourself in the flesh and the blood of the God, that you can become one and divine and live forever. And the whole notion that what you believe is more important than what you do. These are very foreign, un-Jewish, and disturbing, and not at all attractive ideas to me.
This is TalkRadio1.com. Luke Ford, it's always fun to talk with you. His blog is lukeford.net, and it's his views on everything from the women that he meets to religious views to reviews of other radio shows. And it's always good to talk to you. I always enjoy it. You are a very provocative guy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.